Hey everyone, OmnicientWolf here, and this video is being posted 24 hours before Halo Infinite's next major operation called Great Journey. Courtesy of Halo Studios, I've had the opportunity to dive in early as part of the winter update flight over the past week. Check out what's new. So let's get right into it. Starting with the big one, the MA5K Avenger. This is indeed a new weapon and not just a new weapon model. It can probably be best described as a fully automatic SMG. With 60 rounds in the clip and a high rate of fire, the thing is absolutely lethal up close. It does start to lose its efficiency at a distance, but if it's within reason, you might still be able to take someone out on occasion. If you hit every shot, you can take out a target with 26 bullets. So theoretically, you'd be able to take out 2 targets before having to reload if you're efficient with your shots. Alternatively, landing 10 bullets and a melee will grant you the beatdown of your target. And that's really the gist of it. The MA5K Avenger wasn't available to test out in matchmaking ahead of the new updates, so I can't really tell you how much reserve ammo will be available in the weapon, but if I had to guess, probably 3 clips worth total. Next, we have third-person mode, and wow, what a game changer. I'm not being hyperbolic here, it really does play well and almost makes you wonder why we haven't had a third-person mode sooner in the history of Halo. This is definitely combat evolved, as your default view is in third person and you only enter first person mode when zooming in with a scoped weapon. Although I played with and against bots mostly, I had a blast, and it certainly opens up new avenues, especially when it comes to surveying your corners, which is typical of any third person shooter really. It is a bit jarring at first, almost feels a bit like an out of body experience of sorts, but it doesn't take long to get used to, and next thing you know, you're curb sliding, hitting the skill jumps, and landing no scopes like a pro. For fun, I even played with the HUD off, which looked really cool, despite making it much harder to center and hit shots, although you wouldn't know that by watching this sequence, honestly. So as part of this update, there were actually 2 new playlists. I did get a chance to play one of the new playlists in matchmaking, which was the third-person firefight mode. In my opinion, this is a great idea and a great way to introduce third-person mode in matchmaking while keeping the stakes low as you fight against AI. So at least here we have a little bit of trial and error when it comes to the whole third-person mode in matchmaking and how it feels. I ended up playing a linear firefight mode with 3 other members of the flight, and at least for me, I couldn't help but chuckle as we exchanged friendly teabags in third-person mode. That just added an additional layer to it. Of course, the gunfight and the typical firefight King of the Hill experience was still there, and it played really well in third person. Definitely give this mode a shot, even if you're a ranked warrior. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. Speaking of playlists, and before we talk about the other one, let's have a quick look at the modes and maps for each, starting with third-person firefight. We pretty much have all your standard modes and maps that existed previously, just in third person essentially. Regular firefight, Fiesta firefight, Grompocalypse, and linear firefight all make the return in this playlist. The map pool is also the same with no new additions as far as I can tell. Regardless, the change in perspective from first person to third person makes this playlist feel very new and provides a brand new experience. So I don't think there's going to be anything lacking from that playlist with the existing modes and maps that we have already. Now next, this is a big one. We have a new featured playlist that's called Delta Arena. Essentially, you have legacy movement settings, which means no sprint or clamber, and your jump height is also elevated. The legacy modes include Capture the Flag, Slayer, King of the Hill, and Oddball. The map pool is arguably the most interesting part of it all. Inspired largely by Halo 2, you'll be able to identify some of the classics, even if they might have new names to them. For example, Inquisitor here is essentially your midship remake, and the map that you're seeing right now that I'm playing is called Serenity, which is your Sanctuary remake. I ended up playing CTF on the latter, and admittedly it took a while to get used to the no sprint factor, as that also inhibits you from doing any curb sliding. The jump is also quite a bit higher than Infinite's default settings, giving it a more floaty feel, as it was in the past. Watch out for bunking your head though. I have to say, in certain areas, if you don't watch where you're jumping, you'll hit your head. A lot of fans have been asking for the classic movement, and I'm curious to see how people receive it. Last but not least, let's talk about the Battle Pass and the cosmetics real quick, especially since third-person mode definitely shows off more of your Spartan in-game. So this is a screen that I have from the shop where you can see the new Operation Great Journey with the option to view the Battle Pass. Unfortunately, we weren't able to actually see the items as part of the rewards track. Clicking this option only showed the previous operations and Battle Passes. However, the screen itself does reveal what the rewards may potentially include, at least when it comes to the armor, and will likely have Spartan points as well. Oh, but wait, that's not all. When I navigated to the Mark 7 core, specifically the armor kit section, surprise, surprise, we now have a Master Chief Mark 6 core. Right now it shows as stay tuned for more details, so I'm a little unsure as how this will unlock at the moment, or whether it might be a shop item similar to the Combat Evolved Mark V kit, but time will tell. And that's a wrap, at least from what I was able to gather during the flight. The weapons that I used all felt the same, with the exception of the MA5K Avenger, since that's brand new, so I'm not sure if there was any weapon tuning of any sorts. I suppose the release notes will reveal all, if anything. Hope you enjoyed this preview of Operation Great Journey, and once again, a big thank you to Halo Studios for trusting me with the Winter Update flight and allow me to check things out early. Now, I need a weapon. Until next time.